Councillors.
Thank you, Chairman, and good evening, Councillors. This application is purely speculative and should be outrightly refused. Longwick has already surpassed the level of development laid out in the current Wycombe local plan and the Longwick neighbourhood plan. The scale of this proposed development is excessive and inconsistent with those policies. It's not even, as Councillor Walsh said earlier, in the emerging new Buckinghamshire plan either. To grant permission would undermine the plan-led system and set a dangerous precedent for other speculative development. The cumulative impact among other recent and pending developments would have on the village cannot be understated. Longwick housing growth has already exceeded its plan numbers. There are existing pressures on local services and utilities. Water, sewage, tankers taking sewage away today, let alone if this development goes ahead. Electricity, GP surgeries, schools. I could go on and on and on. There are no formal transport links, and the nearest train station I've worked out is around 2 miles away from this development, nearly a 50-minute walk and along a rural road that has no footpath for the large part. That is not sustainable. This is the wrong development in the wrong place. This application is clearly premised on extending urban sprawl into the open countryside by tacking development onto the existing village boundary and engulfing agricultural land. The loss of agricultural land is truly unacceptable, particularly given the push to intensify national food security against a backdrop of global insecurity. I also have concerns on the environmental impact, the displacement of wildlife, and the reduction in biodiversity. Then there are the extremely serious highways impacts to be considered. Traffic levels and speeds through the village are already a major issue. Knock on any door and virtually every resident will tell you that. Adding hundreds and more vehicles either accessing or leaving the development onto an extremely busy road by way of the proposed access would create a serious hazard. Road safety in Longwick is regularly raised with me as the local MP, and matters are only getting worse with more and more unwanted development. So I urge this committee not to be swayed by anti-local talk of having to grant permission because of Whitehall diktats about 5-year housing supply. This is a bad application, and a bad application is still a bad application, and I urge you all to refuse it.
Any points of clarification? Councillor Collingwood.
Thank you, Greg Smith MP. Just to clarify, you said there'd probably be a 50-minute walk to the train station, and did you say that there were very few footpaths available to do that? Unless, I guess, you were going to hike across country or hike across fields, I guess, assuming the only alternate you might get there. But I guess I just want to double check in my mind in terms of location, etc.
Yeah, thank you, Councillor. In order to walk from Longwick to Princes Risborough train station now, yes, there are some footpaths through Longwick itself, but once you go under the railway bridge and you turn left down towards Princes Risborough, there are no footpaths along a 60-mile-per-hour national speed limit country lane. I know this because I once looked at buying a house in Longwick and came to the view that was not a walk I particularly wanted to do on a daily basis on my treks to the train station to go into Westminster. Longwick is a beautiful village, but that walk is not a sustainable walk. And I'm actually not sure there is a public footpath across fields that would get you all the way to Princes Risborough train station, a train station that actually is already also, in its own right, relatively over capacity and can't cope with rush hour peaks now, let alone if more residents were to come in and want to use those services either to Marylebone or up to Birmingham.
Any other points for clarification? No. Thank you.